everyone, and welcome to the other side of the craft room. We're going to do it this way because I have my desk behind me that I usually work on, and I will give everybody a minute to pop on. It's been a busy day here. I am hoping I don't lose anybody because we're supposed to have storms that move through, and they are a giant pain in the backside. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. A few of you had asked what I was working on today, and I was telling you that I was dyeing red yarns today. So I did a red and white, which kind of looks like a candy cane. I did a red, white, and blue for the 4th of July, and I did a red and black. Our school colors are red and black, so I did the red and black. I love how these are coming out. The red, white, and blue. And when you unwrap these, the length of the colors is longer. So I am liking that as well. Kind of reminds me of those popsicles that you used to get from the ice cream man that would come around. What's going on with the comments? Always something today. Let's see. And of course, I had to turn my camera the other way. So, hopefully I will get the comments. Let me know you guys are here. And I did red and white, which is like the candy cane. And these things are coming up and selling super fast, which is fantastic. So I've been doing a different color every day. So I have seen a lot of progress on the shawl. We are about to the end where we're going to start the border. So it's a good idea for everybody to start measuring their shawl and see what length you've got. The border is not, you could measure your border at the bottom and then add that to the top to see if you're going to get the length. That way you don't go over. And plus blocking this is going to open it up a pinch, not a lot, because of how we're going to block it. And one of our members is doing it in these beachy colors, and she posted a picture today, and oh my gosh, the stripes are absolutely fantastic. I love them. I really like it. I might have to figure out what yarn she's doing it in so I could do one. What is going on with the comments here? I have no idea. So, I'm not seeing comments right now. So if I don't answer you, I'm not ignoring you. They're just doing their own thing right now. It's Facebook for you sometimes. So the Warm Embrace shawl is about ready to wrap up here in a few more rows. The cowl will be up for a long time, so don't panic and think, you know, it's going to disappear. Somebody's messaging me on Facebook. So don't panic and think, oh my gosh, it's going to get down. I've got to do all of this and copy and paste. You don't have to do anything. It's going to be there for a long time. Let's see, what else do we have going on? The corner-to-corner entrelac cowl, I am hoping to get a different camera in. Amazon canceled my order like 3 times because of things that are going on, so I have no idea what's going on with that, so I should be getting a new camera for that shortly. We will see. I have no idea what's going on with the comments, and I don't want to kick you guys out of here to start this over again. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. These phones, sometimes they make things so much more difficult than things have to be. Anyway, I will respond to your comments when I am done, I suppose. Does anybody, we've talked about the hooks and stuff in a lot of our past live sessions, so if there's any questions that somebody sees, help each other out tonight. The Knitter's Pride are really popular as far as our hooks go because the cost. You know, they're super cost efficient for all that you get in the package. So that was one of the reasons why so many people really like them. The length of the cables, the length of the hooks, they become super popular that way. So that is why we like them so much. I got these little hat thingies, and I did not look at the pattern, and they are knit. So I do not knit. So I am going to do some loveys. I'm going to do them in some Tunisian stitches. I'm actually thinking the Tunisian simple stitch and the Tunisian slanted stitch in rows would be super cute. And these have 98 yards. So I was figuring if you use about 2.5 inches per stitch, that if I did something like 35 to 37 stitches wide, that would give a nice size to this. And it would give me a square project, and then I could put the little heads in the center, since we have fish and all of those fantastic little things there. Like I said, I apologize. I don't know what's going on with the comments this evening. I did get my yarn Swift in, and a few of you were asking me how I liked it. I ordered the one from Knit Picks, and it is I ordered the Onyx one, and I actually really like it. I am using it for the hanks, and I've never used one before, but I'm really impressed. And on top of that, I ordered the little bag that goes with it, and the bag was only like 20 bucks. And the Yarn Swift, it comes with the directions, and it comes with a bag over it so that these things don't get damaged, because the arms that are in here are really, they're kind of weak. So I like that when you put the yarn, when you put this back over it and you put it in the bag, that it's not going to get damaged. I was really impressed with that, because they were, I think it was $49.99 for the birch one, and then $59.99 for the black one. And I knew that I wasn't paying as much as a lot of the other ones are, so I was a little concerned that it might be on the cheaper side, and I'm really impressed with it. I'm super happy that I got it, and it's working out a lot better than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be a cheaper quality, but it's actually really nice. All of this yarn behind me is what's been dyed lately, and the hanks, there's hanks behind there that are going to get dyed. I wish I knew what was going on with the comments this evening, and I have a habit of reaching up with that other hand. Let me see if I can take you guys down without making you dizzy, and the camera probably won't shift for me. You can't turn your phone while you're live. Of course you can't. Anything to make some things difficult this evening. I do not want faces. I don't know. Makes me so upset that you cannot, that it does some things sometimes and other things it doesn't do sometimes. But like I said, I will respond to your questions after I get done here. I apologize. So the Warm Embrace shawl is coming along fantastic. I'm loving seeing everybody's work on that. Do not feel like you have to hurry up. I will say that again, because it's going to be up for a while. The corner to corner entrelac will be up for a while. All of the cows in the group, we keep them up for a long time. I did get, For the Love of Amy was something that we were working on, I was working on, and I was telling you guys that, you know, with the stores being closed, it's really hard to go and pick out beads and things when you can't see the colors up against your project. And the last rows of this was the option of doing beads, and I really wanted to do them because it was going to give the project a little bit of weight. So I waited, so I have to finish that up. And I got these really magnificent yellow beads, and they're kind of like a gold, and they're super, super, super hard to see in the plastic bag. But I got these, and then in the center is the bigger beads, and I got a purple because, and of course my project's gonna have a knot in it. Oh well. But these are the colors that are in there, so the yellow beads and the purple, I think, are really going to stand out. So I'm super happy with that. And I probably will pop on, I want to say Friday, and do another real quick live update on what's going on, so that, like, if anybody has any questions, we're going to put a flyer into the group, and that way you guys can go into the group and ask any questions that you have, and then I'll pop on here and answer them as well, since I have no idea what's going on with the live this evening. So anyway, the Warm Embrace shawl, we're doing, that is For the Love of Amy. I'm getting ready to finish that up, and Angela, you have a little camera by your name. I don't know if you want to go live or not. You're probably like, heck no, since I can't see any of the comments. And in the meantime, I was hoping to have the champion or companion shawl done, and I am like so close to having it done. I did the last row, and I am like 10 stitches short for being able to do the skein of yarn. So I am going to add like a crab stitch onto it. See if I can get this out of here. I really like this because I wanted to do this pattern with a white t-shirt in mind. A lot of times during the summer I wear a white tank top and a lot of white shirts, so with this, all that sparkle and the white is going to look like little stars on the flag. So this is really, really coming out nice for the 4th of July. And like I said, I have one final row to do with it, so I am super, super happy with that. So my final row will have red along it. I needed the colors to work out the way that was going to be nice. Hello, Erica. Hi, everybody. Erica's got a little camera by her name, too. I know if I invite her to go live, she's going to be like, oh, goodness, no. For some reason, like I said, for you guys that are just joining in, I am not getting any notifications for any of the comments, and I have no idea why. So y'all can take care of that down below, and let me know what's going on later. We are going to be doing a triangle shawl here shortly. That's going to get started. I know a few people wanted to use It's a Wrap, and a few other people wanted to use Ria's yarns, and I'm going to be using Ria's yarns. I am going to do a gauge for both of those. I know a few people are not going to want to do the really thin yarns. They really don't like them. So what we're going to do is I will do a gauge swatch for the bigger yarns as well. And I'm thinking that I want to start from the base of the neck, and the reason being is since we have a few different people that want to use a few different yarns, then this way we can do the pattern and you're not going to have to worry about the rows in between where we start and where you end, because the ending rows I will have like it's going to have like a built-in border to the ending rows. So we're going to do that, and that way you guys can make it as big or as small as you want. So we're building out from the neck, and as soon as you get to the point where you think you need a border, then you guys can add your border in. So this is going to be something you can customize, which I think is fantastic, because there's been a few patterns that I've done in the past, and you start them, and I was probably about 3/4 of the way through one, and it was going to be like 6.5 foot, and I was like, oh, this is going to be too big, and I really couldn't change the math for the border on the end. So I think that having something that we can customize is going to be so much easier for us to follow. So I'm super excited about that as well. And what else do we have going on? The Warm Embrace shawl, as I was telling you guys, we have a few people that are doing them in some magnificent colors, and one of our members just posted it in these beachy colors, and I'm absolutely in love. The self-striping yarn is doing fantastic, and the thing about it is, since we're working it from one end to the other, the stripes are going to run vertically instead of horizontally, and I know how many of us do not like stripes to run that way because it makes us look a little bit wider. So, but yeah, I'm super excited about the shawl, and it's coming out fantastic, and I'm loving how this yarn is working up. For those of you that have just joined in, we are using the Yarn Bee, I think it's Soft and Sleek. We're using that, and it is working up so super soft. I could not be more impressed with this yarn. What else? The hooks. Someone was asking me about the larger hooks. I do use the Chiago. I think that's how you pronounce them. It's Chiaagoo. I do use those for the larger hooks, and I have them in several large sizes. This is a N and a P and a T and a U, and I have an S somewhere, and I have, this is the Q. So, and I have an S. It's in a project right now that I am working on, because so many of us like to work with the Bernat blanket yarn, and it's a love-hate thing. Either you love it or you hate Bernat blanket yarn, but seeing the stitches are so much easier with these bigger hooks, and I absolutely love that, and it makes it so much nicer to work with something. I tried the Q hook with the Bernat, and I kind of got like a loose airy gauge, and so I had to go down to a P hook because I needed something tight. And that is another thing we're going to be talking about. This fall we are going to talk about the jumbo hooks. We're going to work with some bigger yarns, and we are going to talk about a few patterns that are going to be something super quick that we can pop together, and it's going to be something mindless. There's not going to be all of this, let's do these stitches and border and everything else because so many people had said, hey Jess, I just want a shrug that I can throw on, you know, to run out to the car or to get, you know, pop into work and, you know, go out, start the car, come back in the house or something when it's chilly. You know, I can throw it on. And so I think the Bernat blanket yarn is going to be something fantastic for this. A lot of people ask about the Bernat velvet yarn. I think the Bernat velvet yarn would work up nice. The problem with it is a lot of times it is worming, so the stitches are pulling through, and it's just, you have to work with a super tight stitch and a super tight gauge with it for it not to do that. I've seen some Amy Garami with it that have been fantastic, but as far as something you're going to be wearing all the time, I think it's going to snag too much. I will play around with it some more, but my experience in the project that I started was that it was snagging, and I even went down to like an eye hook. And let's pop out the next thing. So for this fall, we are just going to do a great big square, kind of. And this is the Tunisian simple stitch. And if you look at it with the Bernat yarn, you can really see how these stitches pop out, so they're super easy to see. And that was one of the things I really liked with this. And if you want a looser fabric, like I said, it's going to depend on your gauge. Everybody's gauge is a little different. I am using a P16 with this to get it tight, because up here in Pennsylvania it can get really cold in the fall and we sit outside a lot, so I think that this is like going to be my campfire jacket, cardigan, sweater thing. And so I'm super excited about that this fall too. If you guys, like I said, I'm sorry I can't see your comments right now. If you guys have any ideas or things that you want to see in the group that we're not doing, please ask. Even if you're new to the group, this is what we do. Is I love to teach, and Erica and Angela and all of us that are on here, we absolutely love helping out and doing stuff. And I think it's fantastic that you guys give input, because when you guys give input, then we can take it in a direction that you guys want to go, and it makes things super exciting. And you know, we have some things planned for the fall. We have another shawl that's going to be going on, that's going to be starting shortly, and like I said, we're going to be working from the neck down. So with that being said, you guys can play around and pick out whatever yarn you want. And that way, once you get to the size that you want, then you can just, we'll do the border, and you guys can add the border in, and we will probably, let's see, I'm trying to figure out what yarn. A few people are using cotton, and a couple want to use acrylic. We will do a blocking video on that one as well, and we will be doing a blocking video on the Warm Embrace shawl as well. And I know there's a bunch of people that are like, oh, I block this way, I block that way. This is a beginner group, and we have a lot of people that are beginners here, so we are going to block the simplest and easiest way possible that doesn't constitute using your iron or heat right now, because that's something more advanced, and I know a lot of you hate doing swatches, but that is the best way to block with heat, is to work a small swatch in the fabric that you want to use, whether it's acrylic or whatever, and then block it from there and see what it's going to be like, because so many have learned the hard way on working on a project for weeks or months, and sometimes, you know, even years if it's something you don't have a lot of time or it lost your interest, and then they go back and they block it and it kills the fabric. There are patterns that you need to kill the fabric. I've seen a few. Personally, I don't like the texture that much of it. Yes, it softens it up, but you lose the stitch definition if you block too strongly, intensely. The heat's too hot. So we don't want to lose that. We want to keep the knit stitch nice and taut, and we don't want it to spread out or get wider or get holes in it. We want just, so this is going to be absolutely perfect and beginner friendly, which is why I'm trying to keep it that way, because this is one of the first cows that we're doing in here that we're actually going to block. A lot of things that we do in here we don't really, you don't have to block. I do block a lot of my work, and someone was asking me about some of the craft shows. My shawls and stuff I will put on my mannequin, and actually if it's been like folded in a bag or whatever, I will actually block it while I'm there with a garment steamer to relax it and let it show a little bit better. I find that it, for me at least, the product shows better and it brings in a little bit more money than something that looks like it's been balled up and thrown on a table. I'm sure that, you know, many of you can understand that. It's the difference between kind of going to an interview with a wrinkled shirt that you pulled out of the laundry hamper and going to work in a dress shirt that was pressed or come from the cleaners. Do you have to block this? No, you don't. You don't have to, but we're going to give that as an option. And like I said, it's going to be the very beginner friendly. This is how you can block it with no steam, no iron, no nothing. We're going to go super, super easy, super simple. And I will be showing you how to block that on my little desk that's back here. What else do we have going on? I ordered some double-ended hooks that said they're used for Tunisian from Knit Picks. They do have a center grip on them. Originally, my plans for July were to go to the CGOA conference, and they had a class where you needed to have the double-ended hooks. I do have several sets that you can add the cable and use the same hook, or one size, two sizes bigger on one end and one size just a little bit smaller on the other end to cast off, and was going to do that, but I thought it would be nice to throw these in my bag in case we were working on something small. And there are 4 hooks in here. There is a sewing needle and that's kind of thinner that would work great for buttons, and then a larger one that's more for yarn. And each end of these have 2 different ends on them, and Knit Picks makes these. I was kind of excited because they come in a case, and I know how many, like the double-ended hooks that they sell, like Susan Bates and stuff sells, they come in a case, and once you take them out of the case, then you have no idea what size they are because it's not etched on there. So this one has that it's 3.5 on one end, 4 millimeters on the other. So I figured that these would be a neat thing to pick up, and they were kind of cheap. So I am going to try these out and see what they work like with the thumb grips. They have the thumb grips on them, which some people absolutely love. I'm wondering if it's going to pull the stitches out a little bit wider. But we'll see. And the thing about it too is these hooks are, there's 2 different kind of lines of thoughts for the hooks. One has where your end is up on both ends, and one has one is up and one is down. So these ones have the opposing ends where one side is up and one side is down. And like I said, I got these from Knit Picks just to try them out and see what they were like. I like the fact that they're metal. I think that they'll travel well for a small project that I'm doing. And I think that, you know, the metal's always held up well for me. So, I guess since I can't see the comments tonight, I'm going to wrap things up. I will get to your comments and answer anything that Angela or Erica did not answer or might have missed. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. Please give the page a like, and also we're going to be asking for some input on some stuff. So if you guys are available in the group and you see a poll flying around, pop on and answer it, because that'll tell us which direction you guys want to go. And also, we're going to put up a flyer that's going to ask like what you guys want to see in here, and that way you guys can go under that post and answer, and don't feel like you're making a post and you're kind of attracting the people that don't join in on the live or haven't seen the live, and gonna cause any drama or anything. That's not what we do here. So yeah, give your input. Let me know what you guys want to see in here. The rectangle shawl should be finishing up here, and the blocking video should go up in probably the next couple weeks. So we'll be doing that. You guys got plenty of time to catch up, and always our videos will be here in the group, and we're going to start adding them on YouTube here shortly. Trying to get down to North Carolina so that Erica can help me, or South Carolina so that Erica can help me with some of that. I'm still newer on the computer. I'm not so technically advanced. If you can do it on your phone, I pretty much know how to do it. If you can do it on a computer, yeah, not so good. So anyway, thanks for joining me. All of our videos, we have units in the group as well, so if you haven't checked them out and you go into the group, there's a units tab, and you can hit that and it will walk you through how to get around the group and where the videos are and where everything is. Thank you guys for joining me this evening, and if you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to ask in the group or PM me. I've had a few people even this week say, you know, I feel bad PMing you because, you know, you're in a different time zone or whatever, and I'm like, you know, don't worry about it. When I see it and I have time, I answer it. So don't hesitate to ask. And this is a teaching group, so we have plenty of people asking the same questions that you want to know, so don't be afraid to post it in the group. Everybody here is fantastic, and we keep this like a big old Tunisian family here. So thank you guys for joining me. Have a great evening, and I will probably see you on Friday. I'm going to pop in and do a quick live Friday afternoon. I'm hoping around 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I know a few people are in different time zones, and it's like midnight over there. So, and I will be showing off my finished companion shawl as well. And I'm going to put a link to that pattern up as well. Even though it's not Tunisian, it's a great pattern. Alright guys, have a great evening. Thanks.